Hey Internet, Eric here. I'm actually gonna go back to in this video. We'll go back to a series that I'm surprised I haven't talked about the sequels. My head's all there we go. I haven't talked about the sequels ever since I started this channel. One of the first movies I ever discussed um, was courtesy of Roger over at Channel Dawnstar, and he wanted me to discuss movies that scared me and still make me feel uncomfortable to this day. And I believe I said it in that video. There are no movies that scare me, but there are movies that still give me that creepy feeling, especially when watched in the dark. And one of the first movies I ever discussed on this channel was one of those, and that was the original Poltergeist from 1982. And I'm finally, after all these years of being on YouTube, I'm finally going to discuss Poltergeist 2. You can't see me from the glare. The Other Side. Now, if you're new to my channel, welcome. I discuss plot spoilers, specific scenes, what have you, so watch at your own risk. This came out in '86, so 4 years after the original. Um, we're once again following the Freeling family. They've moved from, where were they? California to, I believe, Phoenix. I don't know. They are now living with the mother of Joe Beth Williams, and now we see that whatever that force was that was terrorizing them in the first one, I think they called it the Beast, has now taken the form of Reverend Henry Kane. And Kane wants Carol Ann because she's got this extraordinary power, and he has followed her all the way to um, Grandma's house, I guess is the easiest way to say it. And they are helped by this mystical Native American shaman, and Tangina, the world's worst psychic, and it's the battle for Carol Ann's soul yet again. Okay. Um, First off, elephant in the room. I think her name was Dana, the older sister played by Dominique Dunn. Dominique, I think I mentioned it in the actual Poltergeist review or discussion, whatever you want to call it. She was murdered by her boyfriend soon after the first movie came out. She is not mentioned in this movie at all. They don't even have a throwaway line saying Dana's away at college. It's like she didn't exist. So that's out of the way. Um, the rest of the movie, acting wise, Carol Ann, Heather O'Rourke, is still very, very good in this. She's still cute. She's still somewhat bubbly when she needs to be bubbly. Very likable. Not like cutesy cute where you just want to like grab her and shake her like a baby. Um, she does what she needs to do. She's great. Um, the older brother who plays Robbie, Oliver, what the hell is his name? Oliver Robbins. He's back. He's fine. He's more likable. He is more. He's more annoyed at the fact that they don't have television because of what happened in the first one. He's annoyed at Carol Ann. Um, he is a good older brother. He does great. Joe Beth Williams, Craig T. Nelson, still great. Craig T. Nelson has a bit of a turn in this one. He is now battling alcoholism. He is now, like, I think, a door to door vacuum cleaner salesman. So he's hit the skids since the first movie. And I buy it. It makes him very sympathetic. Um, it's really cool seeing him down on his luck and how that plays into the relationship with JoBeth Williams, who is still very good at being the strong mother figure. She again is the center of this family, the one that's keeping it together, and she shows it here. Um, we get I don't know the actress's name, but we get Joe Beth Williams' mother is in this movie. Not in it very long, but she's very likable too. She's very sweet. She's looking out for the family. You find out, this is a weird twist. You find out that she had telekinesis. What is it? Is it telekinesis? No, that's where you can move stuff. She has like ESP, where she can read minds and she can also talk to the spirit world and stuff like that. So of course, that could be where Carol Ann got it, and then Jo Beth Williams apparently has some of it, has a little bit of it, because why the hell not? Um, but the grandma character is very likable, very sweet. Tangina sucks. Zelda Rubinstein, she just stands there and yells and observes things and just doesn't take up a lot of space, but she's just there. Um, Will Sampson from One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest is Taylor, the Native American shaman. He's not in it a lot. I like it because he's got such a mysterious vibe to him. Um, I like seeing him prepare to go to the other side to rescue Carol Ann and everybody. Um, I like how he can show fear when he knows that they're in over their heads. I know. One of my favorite scenes is after Robbie is attacked by his braces, which we'll talk about. Taylor goes straight to Carol Ann, and he's comforting her. And after Craig T. Nelson explodes on Taylor, he's like, "Where the fuck were you?" He's like, "It's Carol Ann she wants. I was protecting her." So he does a really good job of being the protector. Um, but the star of this movie, is he in this? No, you don't see him here. But I don't like the artwork. Is Reverend Kane, right there, played by Julian Beck. And Reverend Kane, you find out, which is, I think it's really cool. We get a backstory. He was this cult leader, religious cult leader, back in whenever the fuck it was, and he told this town, the city, whatever, and the world was coming, so he took them to a cave that was under the Freeling's house in the first movie, sealed them up, and then when the end of the world happened, he did not let them out, and they all starved to death. And he, in his human form, he slowly stalks Carol Ann, and he is menacing. It helped that he was dying of cancer at this time, so he is very skeletal, but he is so frightening, even when he's being sweet. Carol Ann and Robbie and Mom are at like a strip mall, and Carol Ann gets lost, and Reverend Kane is the one that finds her and tries to comfort her. Um, are you lost, child? Are you looking for your mom? Maybe I'll sing you a song. We can sing a song until she comes and finds you. His voice is comforting like that, but it's still creepy as hell at the same time. And then he sings this Bible song or biblical song, however you want to say it. Very unnerving. And then the next time we see him, it's raining, and he's just walking slowly in the rain down the sidewalk to the Freeling's house, and he goes up to the door. Everyone's gone inside because it's raining, and Carol Ann's having like an episode where she's just staring off into space, and Stephen, the dad, is talking to Reverend Kane through like the screen door, and you get like an animal. You see Kane just. He curls his lips at times like he's smelling, and he's talking about, you got an Indian in there. He's talking about how he thinks Taylor is evil, type of thing, and then it's the scene everyone talks about. He puts his hand up against the screen. He says, "You're all gonna die in there," and I'm not gonna butcher his performance. It's heart wrenching. It's horrifying. And again, we focus on this skeletal face of his. So he is the star of this movie. I mentioned the braces scenes. The spooky stuff is pretty good for the most part. I do like, there's a scene where Robbie now has braces, and he's either brushing his teeth or something, and his braces come to life. Like the metal in his braces elongate, and it's really cool, creepy, practical effect. And they literally wrap around his head, and he's stuck. It looks like he's stuck in like a spider egg or like an egg sac in the corner of the bathroom when Dad finds him. To me, it reminded me a lot of Superman 3 when that old bitch gets sucked into the computer and she gets wrapped around with the wires. Horrifying. And Steven goes in there, he's trying to save him, and he gets his arm wrapped up. And then, of course, the end of the braces are going to try to go into the light socket and electrocute him. That's a cool scene. I like when they're trying to escape the house and they're going through. They're in they're looking for Carol Ann. Carol Ann's hiding in the car, in the garage, and they're trying to get away. And like the chainsaw turns on and it's cutting through the roof of the car. The visual effects are still not the best, especially when compared to the first movie, which the first movie they were pretty horrible too. But that was great. The practical effects, Screaming Mad George is behind them. He is behind the stuff in Nightmare on Elm Street 3 and 4, and I've mentioned it before in the Two Bearded Losers episode for Society. So he's good at making fucking gross stuff. He took H.R. Giger designs and he made them. There's a scene where Steven's getting drunk on tequila, and he drinks the tequila worm, which has either Kane's face on it or an eyeball. I think it's Kane's face on it. He drinks it, and then he gets possessed by Kane, and he goes and he's gonna try to rape Diane, Joel Beth Williams, and he's fighting it. He's fighting the evil inside him. She's fighting him, and he barfs up this like monkey creature, and then the creature just looks at Steven, and the face turns, and it looks just like Reverend Kane, and then creeps away. Disgusting. The effect is kind of cheesy looking because you can tell they sped it up when it's coming out of Steven's mouth, but it looks horrifying. It's grotesque. It's disgusting. It's screaming at George. What do you expect? When they go into the other side and they have to rescue Carol Ann, there's a scene where the creature, the demon, Kane, whatever you want to say, grabs Carol Ann, and she morphs into this, from this sweet little girl into this skeleton, and it's this really creepy, uncomfortable morphing effect, and it looks really cool, although it's kind of cut like the Lon Chaney Wolfman, Lon Chaney Jr. Wolfman, where it's just him there, and then just slowly dissolves into stage 2 of the skeleton, stage 3, and then the final stage. But it does look pretty good, I think. I love how Kane and the other souls, the pillar, whatever the fuck that you would call, that looks cool. But let's get back to the effects. When they're floating around in the other realm, that looks like total shit. That looks horrible. Carol Ann gets, knocked away. Grandma's there to save her spirit, because I forgot to say Grandma passes away within the first 20 minutes of the movie. And saves Carol Ann, takes her back to the family in this horrible green screen, blue screen on wires type of scene. It looks really bad. And then the movie ends. They try to end it on a joke, just like they tried to end it on a joke at the first movie. The end of the first movie, they go to a hotel, they take out the TV. And this one, Steven gives Taylor his car for payment, and then they drive away, and they're like, oh, wait, we need a ride home. And then they run after the car, and the credits roll. So, that's funny. Overall, it's hard to follow up the original Poltergeist. I love that movie so much. So much creepiness to it. If you want to know everything I said, in full, go see that. Watch that review. Poltergeist 2, The Other Side. Pretty decent follow-up, if you ask me. Really likable characters. Julian Beck is amazing. The practical effects are really, really good. Some are really, really gross. The green screen special effects are laughable at times. Some are just okay. But I fucking love that scene with the braces. It's something that stuck with me since I first saw this as a kid. Tangina still sucks. She's a horrible, horrible medium or psychic, whatever you want to call her. But definitely worth checking out. Definitely worth multiple watches. Yeah, Poltergeist 2, The Other Side. Totally recommend it. So that's it. Thank you for watching. Like and subscribe, all that crap. Comment below. Tell me what you think. Don't know what else to say, so it's late. I'm going to say cheers.